get right or wrong. All righty. We are now on our third session of public speaking here on Chapter 2, Lesson 3. We're up to organizing a presentation and talking about the introductory, your body, and your conclusion. This is the requirements I have on your public speaking, 3 to 5 minutes. When we have an introduction, tell me what's in a good introduction. Someone.
Main idea.
Main idea.
Or
Topics you're talking about, okay? Organization. Remember yesterday we talked about a technique for speakers is to simply tell the people what you're going to tell them about, and then you tell them, and then you tell the people what you told them about. Okay, it's just as simple as that. So this is the introductory. Hello, my name is Denny Peoples. Today I'm going to talk to you about how much I love Jimmy Buffett. And then I tell you about Jimmy Buffett. In conclusion, I told you today how much I love Jimmy Buffett because of these reasons. That's just as simple as what I'm trying to ask you guys to do. So also they talk about attention getters here on the bottom of the slide. What's an attention getter, guys? What's an attention getter?
a hook.
Hey, what now? A hook? That's good. What else?
Intriguing question.
Intriguing question. What else can it be?
Something that excites.
Something that excites or something that makes you laugh. Have everybody heard a joke at the beginning of each talk? I mean, the people make you laugh. Again, I'm telling you, in public speaking, if you can look in everybody's eyes during your speech or during your talk, that's why I hate talking to the back of these ladies right over here. Please turn around, okay? Then you feel like you've connected with the audience, but if you make them smile or laugh at some dumb thing you do, such as dancing when you guys get all the click things, then you do remember that. What's a transition? Look, read your page. What is a transition? Yes, sir.
Transitions are also a good point of Guy.
I don't know, a transition. What's a transition? Yes, ma'am.
It helps the audience be able to follow the direction you go. So if you're like shifting from like one paragraph and you're talking about like a prose or something, you can say, but however, and then go into the con.
Did you guys hear Cadet Barrios? Where's Barrios? Yesterday, she was talking about how much she loved doggies versus cats. But if you did not hear, she actually had some excellent transitions in her speech. And it came natural. I don't think you wrote this out and practiced it. But the way you were public speaking was excellent. And she had great transitions because she said, the next thing I like about it, or she was talking about how sweet they are, and she had a good transitions in that. So that was excellent in the way she did it. A conclusion. What are you doing in conclusions, guys? What do you do in conclusions? Yes, ma'am. Summarize it. And I'm telling you a technique that you can do when you're learning to do this, like I'm making you guys do it, is to use the word in conclusion. I love doggies versus cats because they are sweet and they beat up on snakes and they don't smell as bad as cats. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, you would use the word in conclusion. What about Martin Luther King and his I Have a Dream speech? What was his conclusion? Does anybody remember that? I think I have it on there for you guys to watch next week. But his conclusion came up like a sermon from a church. And at the end, he started quoting famous American statements that we all know about. America the Beautiful, or a Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last, which everybody identifies in the audience. So that was very inspiring. People could say that's your goal. So the conclusion, short and sweet, make it your goal. That's the purpose of the whole speech. Okay? Recap. This is the rule that I just talked about, and I bet this would be on a test, right? You know, when you're trying to do a speech, you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. Just as simple as that. Have you ever heard of a teacher or a speaker that gets lost and sidetracked?
Yeah.
Like me, no names, but if you, in the middle of a great lesson, you may ask me about, gee, sir, where were you on that picture flying jets? And sometimes I may not respond, but sometimes I feel like responding if it's on a Friday and I know I'm not going to do it. So yeah, you can sidetrack me real well, and I'm not that good. But you want to keep it concise and to the point. Visual aids. What's a visual aid?
Like a picture.
Like a picture. Kev Van Boeven.
Something that helps the viewer or your audience know what you're talking about.
Yes, like this, right? Like I go to a little bit of hassle to make the studio work so you can actually see this right behind me. I give you the whiteboard to actually write up there your 3 main points. When we get to more advanced public speaking, like around semester 3 or 4, you'll actually be maybe bringing in a visual aid. I'll require that. Works out real well. Presentation skills. Nonverbal communications. What would that be? Hand motions. Have y'all, we haven't done that. Maybe I should do that. Have you guys evaluate the speaker's hand motions and nonverbal skills? Does the speaker just sit there and go, like this, or there's actually, pocket person, or I just really don't like talking about this, that much. Not that anybody would ever do anything like that. But the nonverbal skills, meaning you vary the pace of your voice so that you're kind of quiet. And that's exactly what Martin Luther King did. He said stuff like this, and then he came up in a crescendo and started talking loud and using his hands and moving it. And that's what you do. Good speakers do. They control all that. It looks natural, but it's control it. They're honestly like actors. Movement. Here's some interesting terminology that I thought was pretty good for the book. Let's see, where is it? Page. Where is it? What now? 90?
89.
Oh yeah, 89. Bottom of 89. Body movement. Life rafters. They grab the podium. They want to hang behind the podium, and they hold it like this. You guys can see this on TV, right? Has anybody ever seen the athletes that come up and talk after the ball game? Are they perfectly composed and ready to talk? No, they're sitting there and they're going, yeah, we had a pretty good game and I was moving my hand, yeah, they're doing all these errors, which really is funny because they're getting paid millions of dollars. Do they not even know how to present themselves on TV? Have you ever heard an athlete use improper English on TV? No. All the time. It is hilarious. A high school kid I saw the other day is, I don't know, he got a lot of points in a game or something like that. And he was talking, he used ain't, and we did real good and all this stuff. And I go, and he's going to be paid $1 million to play basketball? Okay. Don't know. But let's see, life rafters, the nervousness in the hands. A lot of times people will play with pencils. Okay, I'm talking and I'm real nervous. I actually playing with pencils. In my public speaking, I had to brief and teach as an instructor, pilot, a fighter pilot. And I'm telling you, I had one colonel who, they're talking about the hand raw. He did this for 2 hours. He would talk, and his pencil would go up and down, just like this. 2 hours. So what do you think I'm looking at? Could have time. You're looking at me. You're not looking at me. You're looking at this pencil. How does he not punch himself in the hand? I mean, it was amazing. For 2 hours, he'd do this. He didn't even know he's doing it. I'm sure he did. Has there anybody ever had? Matter of fact, I can look around there. I think there you go. Look what's happening to your foot. Okay. All right. Is anybody a leg bouncer around here? Yeah. Okay. I think it's about 10%, maybe a little bit more than this. But in the fighter pilot world, I'd sit there and the colonel would be there and they just bounce it. And you know what? And it's always about 10%. And then I'd sit there and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again, I'm a numbers guy, I'm an engineer, so I said, what's the frequency of his bouncing? And oh, by the way, an hour later, I hadn't heard anything he said because I'm watching that pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me time that. Let me get the frequency of it. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're flying or what we're doing, but I'm watching that foot. I'm watching that foot. And, and so some people are leg bouncers. There's the rockets and the pocket maniacs, pen clickers. You guys don't use pens that much. Well, I don't know, pens, tick, click, 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 click. When they just came out, I remember as a kid watching that. Click, click, click. So, all right, voice and rate and volume. This is something that I expect you guys to think about probably the second time you do it. But, you know, when you talk real quiet, people listen to you. And can you hear me back in the back? Could I read? So listen to the voice. Everybody gets real quiet when you do this. Until you start talking loud, and then you guys start talking loud. We have a couple up there, like and We had some constructive criticism. You guys said that people said, like, dude. I heard that one time. Practicing your speech. This is one of your assignments. I can't remember if it's this week or next week. Where are you going to practice your speech? Okay, more.
At home, sir?
Where at home?
In the mirror.
In the mirror. That's pretty good. Believe it or not, I talk to myself in the shower. I sing in the shower and I talk to myself. So, you know, I do public speaking here at the, Prescott, right? And I always think about, okay, I'm going to the Rotary Club. I'm trying to talk with a couple of my cadets, or actually, I got a great speech that I got coming up here in November where I'm supposed to talk for an hour about my Pentagon experience and all the things I did in the Pentagon. That's cool. I've never done that. But they had asked me. So anyway, I do write this down. I actually put it in my cell phone. But I practice in the shower. That's why I take long showers. My wife goes, "What are you doing in the shower?" I go, "Honey, I'm practicing my speech." Okay, so you guys can do it however you want to. But you guys can do it however you want to. What about all these visual aids? What about these things? What happens if they don't work?
Distractions.
You kind of always have to have a flexibility thing for if they don't work. We go to the Rotary Club downtown, or I don't know, one of the clubs, and I actually had Cadet Beaupre and Cadet somebody else, Vocal, go do public speaking down there at the meeting for an hour, and we had the projector, we had the screen, I think we had this laptop, and it didn't work. So, if you're good, hey, everybody has electrical problems. Hey guys, sorry, I had all these great slides for you, but it didn't work. So now can you talk about the slides? You know what? There was a great picture here. Let me tell you about it. Well, you kind of have to go with a flexible presentation. If you can't have your visual aids, you can't do the exact same speech. You got to do something different. So you got to be good. You got to be good. Or you got to make doggone sure that it works. You're 100% sure. At the Pentagon, when you're doing briefings for generals and Secretary of Defenses and stuff like that, there are never any errors. You can't have an error when you talk at that level. So guess what? If you're the guy in charge, what do you do before the speech?
Set it up.
I mean, like 2 hours. You show up 2 hours prior and you set it up and you go, okay, that works. And then you go, what about the backup? You go, okay, ding, 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 click, the backup works. So, I mean, you have different alternatives. So when we come to the end of this class and you guys are going to do a group project, you're actually going to investigate a plane crash, you're going to do presentations up here, it's going to encompass your public speaking, it's going to encompass your writing skills. You'll have a big thing, and I will record you to put you online forevermore. What might you want to do before the class? You might want to practice it, and oh, by the way, you might want to make sure that last year we had one. This will be 200 points. I mean, it's a big group project, get a lot of grades. And the cadet goes, "Sir, your computer doesn't work with my zip stick." I don't care. You got 30 seconds, and here comes 200 points, buddy. He didn't even come in beforehand and check it out. You know, he had a different, he was doing Apple or something like that. It didn't transcribe directly. This is the computer. It's been sitting here all year. You need to make sure it works off of here. And he was blaming me, so that made me happy. So anyway, practice your speech. All right, what are some things about when you go give your speech? What might happen to you? Is anybody, Cadet Barrios, the other day, were you nervous standing up here? Never. I get nervous when I do public speaking too. And my symptoms, which you guys should know, they're Cadet Perkins, is how do you, well, what are those symptoms you have when you get nervous, guys? Foot tapping?
I eat.
Foot tapping. What now?
I like to eat.
You like to eat when you get nervous?
Or chew gum. That's a good one.
Chew gum? Okay, Reed, when you get nervous, what is your symptom?
Looking at the ground.
Looking at I don't want to look at that person because they're going to see that I'm nervous. That's a good point. Well, my nervous thing is I get sweaty. My armpits are sweaty, man. I'm starting to, it's hot in here. I didn't know it's 68 degrees. It's hot. And then also I feel like I have to go to the bathroom. Has everybody ever had that? Yeah. So I know that I'm giving this speech to this general, and so I go to the bathroom 30 minutes prior because I know everything's working. I'm just hanging out. And 15 minutes later, I got to go to the bathroom. I go, wait, hold on. That can't happen, okay? I just went to the bathroom because the Pentagon, you had to walk a long way to bathrooms because they're a long way from everything. So anyway, it's just a mental thing. It doesn't have anything to do with physiologically. And so I'm telling you guys will have some of these issues, and just know what your nervous behavior is. It's not bad. When you're nervous, you generally are on. You're keyed up and you're going to perform. It's a good thing. Let's see. This is the eye contact that I was talking about. Smiling. A lot of time when you're nervous, you either don't smile at all, or you get up here and do what?
Smile.
Smile. Oh, this is so funny. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. We have our SAL flight, our leaders, we have 4 or 5 sophomores. Everybody else is juniors and seniors. And the sophomores are new to this. I stand them up there and they have to, in their staff meeting, they have to give their staff report. And we have one person who laughs all the time. I mean, they have a beautiful smile and all. And you know, I'm going to do this, and this is how much money we have. Isn't it great? And that person is very nervous. Well, the commander that day goes, stop! Stop laughing! Just talk! And then she went the other way. Okay. And she was, but anyway, it's just funny how you get nervous and do it, and you know, you got to do it. In general, smiling is good. If it's sincere, again, you're looking at everybody's eyes, and that works out real well. Natural gestures to relieve tension, you need to think about that. Close with confidence. Okay, I think we're ready for speeches. I think we're ready for speeches. Hoorah, we have about 25 minutes. I think it takes about 5 minutes each one. We are going to continue. Let me turn this off and let me pull this back. You ready for the...
You don't have to call me sir. It's just Reed.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes, sir. Cadet Salters. You need my help?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Who's my flight commander? Come up here. And you've already given your speech.
Yes, sir.
All right, I tell you what, we're gonna stop this recording and we'll make another one. So hit hang up there and we'll make another